Hey guys, Sam here. So today we're gonna make one of my favorite side dishes and snacks, kale and sweet potato chips. I love this dish because you can use it as a side or even as a snack, and I love dipping these guys in my garlic aioli dipping sauce. It just really brings out flavor and it's just such a delicious combination. Also, sweet potatoes and kale are really nutrient dense foods that are extremely good for you. Can't wait to show you guys this recipe, and if you're really interested in learning getting my sauce, just message me. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees. So now I'm going to add our little chips into this. This is about half a tablespoon of olive oil. Now a lot of recipes call for a lot of olive oil, but I only like to use a little bit because I find that it makes my chips a little bit more crispier and it doesn't make them so soggy. And I really like crispy chips. I don't really like soggy chips. So just a little bit of oil. We're tossing and coat them. Gotta get all messy. Use your hands. Be good if you had someone to help you. You just kind of want to gently coat them, and you can add some more oil if you'd like. If you think that you don't think that all of them are getting coated properly, but I think that I can get them all. Just a little bit of oil. We're looking for crispy chips to go with our kale, so whatever kind of floats your boat here. I really like the color of sweet potato. They're so orange. The pigment is just beautiful. So all right, got them coated. All right, so after you coat them, you want to put them on your baking sheet that's lined with parchment paper. And you just kind of want to put them out like cookies. These are going to turn out great. Be crispy. Try to fit as many as you can, but make sure they don't touch. It's okay to have pieces like this. This guy is just gonna be extra crispy. All right, so now this is another baking sheet, and we're just gonna finish off our bowl of these. Now we're gonna pop these in the oven at 350 for about, I would They're gonna take about 15 to 20 minutes total, and we're gonna check on them about every 5 minutes. Sounds kind of tedious, but we gotta make sure that we cook them just right. All right, let's go. Here we go. It's been about 5 minutes. Just checking on our sweet potatoes. Let's take them out and let's flip them over. Beautiful orange color. Look at that pigment. Awesome. Rich color means rich nutrients and flavor. All right, so we're just gonna quickly flip them over. Doesn't have to be perfect, and it's not too hot. Also, I just have a really high pain tolerance from being an athlete, so this doesn't really bother me, but if you want to use a fork or something to flip these guys, go right ahead. But for me, it doesn't really bother me. These guys, just real quick. Flip, flip. It's okay if you forget a couple. It's hard to do every single one and make sure you got them all. But just try your best. Cooking is a lot about just trial and error. You just gotta practice. And now, okay, we got them all. We're gonna put them back in our oven for about, I would give these guys about 7 minutes. Back in the oven they go, 7 more minutes. Hey guys, so we're just checking on them. It's been about that additional 7 minutes, and as you can see, they're not quite ready. They're not very browned, so I'm gonna give them about, let's say, 6 more minutes. My oven is not very good, so let's check on them then. Alright, and here are our fabulous sweet potato chips. You see they kind of curled up. This is what you want. It's crispy, flaky. It's really, really good. Here's the other side. Just so you know, it took a little bit longer just because my oven's old, so after that additional 7 minutes, pop them back in for another 7 minutes, and this is how they came out. So wonderful. You just kind of have to watch your oven, and if you want them more crispy, leave them in for longer. If you don't, leave them in less. And you can sprinkle on just a little bit of salt that I'm doing onto these guys. Get them all salted up. Excellent. Now we got our wonderful chips done. So this is kind of what you're looking for the end product. A little bit of brown to it. It crisps up. You can hear that sound, that crunch. That's what we want. That's what a good sweet potato chip looks like. Alright, so now we have our gorgeous Kale. Look at this guy. He's kind of intimidating, but trust me, it's not that bad. So, I like to just use my hands to destem it. So they have this, you see the Kale has this stem, and we don't want to eat that. That's not very appetizing. It's just too bitter. But we want the leaves. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just grab off the leaves like this and make like a chip. And then here I have another bowl with just a little bit of olive oil. This is about half a tablespoon. And we're gonna coat it with that just to get them all crisp up. Oh, and make sure that you wash your kale before you start doing this. I already washed and dried it. You can put it in a salad spinner, or you can just wash it and then dry it with some paper towels. But make sure they're not damp, because that'll make them soggy, and no one wants a soggy chip. So there you go. Try to make sure the bunches are about the same size. If you have a lot of kale, you might want to add just a little bit more oil. I might have to go do that. I kind of underestimated this sponge. That's okay. Massage your kale with your oil. Got my olive oil in here, just kind of massaging it, getting it all coated. We want these guys pretty crispy. Excellent. All right, now let's move them on to a baking sheet like we did with our sweet potatoes. All right, so just like we did with our sweet potatoes, we're gonna put our kales on our parchment paper. Just kind of spread these guys out. Don't want them too close together. That's good. Take some salt. Sprinkle it up. I just think that just a little bit of salt goes a long way. You can also add pepper, some garlic powder, but I'm just gonna do some salt. All right, and we're gonna take the rest and put it in another lined sheet of parchment paper. And we're gonna put these guys in the oven, 350, for about 15 minutes. Wonderful kale. Now we're gonna put these guys in the oven for 15 minutes at 350. Let's see how they turn out. They might need about 20 more or 5 more minutes after this, but we'll start off with 15 and see how they come out. Always make sure that you check on what you're cooking. It's better to check too early than too late. You don't want to ruin your meal. All right, it's been about 15 minutes. Look at this. Excellent. They look a little crispy on the edges. They're ready to come out now, so we're gonna pull them out. Beautiful. They're super crispy. They kind of taste like popcorn sometimes, or like a really crispy, thin little potato chip. I love these. They just crunch so nicely, and we're gonna pair them with our sweet potatoes. There'll be delicious flavor combination. Love it. And this is kind of what you want. You want just like these little brown edges. You can see it on this guy. Little brown edges. If they get too dark, they won't taste any good. So, perfect. Here's the end product. Got them put in a container. Excellent. Throw these on your salad as a topper or as a little side dish. I have some basil aioli sauce that I really like to dip these in. Just wonderful. Crispy.